Let's go into this news. There's a typhoon approaching the Philippines. Philippines orders evacuation as world's strongest typhoon of 2020 approaches. It's from today. Philippine officials on Saturday ordered an evacuation of thousands of residents in the southern part of the main Luzon island as the world's strongest storm this year approached the Southeast Asian nation. Typhoon Goni, known locally as Raleigh, is a Category 5 storm with 215 kilometer per hour sustained winds and gusts of up to 265 kilometer per hour. It will make landfall on Sunday as the strongest typhoon to hit the Philippines since Haiyan killed more than 6,300 people in November 2013. Yikes. Preemptive evacuations have started in coastal and landslide-prone communities in the provinces of Camarines Norte and Camarines Sur, while the Albay provincial government will order residents into risky areas to leave their homes. Gremil Naz, a local disaster official, told DZBB radio station. Earlier this week, Typhoon Molave killed 22 people in the Philippines. Did I completely miss an entire other typhoon? Guys, it's just they're coming so quick. It's hard to even keep up. We had Hurricane Zeta the other day, striking Louisiana is, I think, the third hurricane to strike the area this year, if I'm not incorrect. Maybe it's the fourth. And we've just had wave after wave of storms, typhoons, etc. in the Western Pacific. Authorities are facing another hurdle as social distancing needs to be imposed in evacuation centers to prevent the spread of coronavirus. The Philippines has the second highest number of COVID-19 infections and deaths in Southeast Asia, behind only Indonesia. Relief goods, heavy machinery, and personal protective equipment are already positioned in key areas. Filipino Grace America, mayor of Infanta Town in Quezon Province, told DZBB Radio, but because of COVID-19 pandemic, our funds for calamity concerns and expenses are insufficient. Local officials canceled port operations and barred fishers from setting sail. Holy moly, that is not good. They're just, again, record number of typhoons, hurricane storms, etc. Obviously, all of these are increasing due to global heating and climate change. Here's a little Halloween special for you from Zach Labe, An Actual Nightmare. Happy Halloween. Arctic sea ice going down, down, down. Again, when on this trend line, this is here we are now. Here's the trend line. When you extrapolate the trend line, meow. What year is that? Is that 2030 or here's the trend line, but here's the low. Here, let's look at the low trend line. And that, if you follow the low end of the trend line, that actually hits about 2021, 2022, I'm thinking. If you want to go for the median trend line, that might take you all the way out to 2030. We can only hope. So yeah, where is that blue ocean event going to actually happen? Is it 2021, 2022, 2030? Maybe we have that much time. This is from Scott Duncan. It is very important to understand what an anomaly map is. The The red color does not necessarily represent temperature above freezing. It can be minus 10 Celsius, but still be plus 20 C warmer than normal, right? So yeah, if it's supposed to be minus 30 Celsius, if that's the what the temperature should be at this time of year in the Arctic, but it's only at minus 10 C, then you are a lot warmer than you should be. The Anomaly Map takes the current temperature and compares it to a 30-year average. And this is the anomaly in the Arctic for the month of October. Good God, y'all. And if you can see, look at all the cold being pushed out of the Arctic into these other areas, right? Into the States. Why there's a big cold front going on in the States? Why? Because the warm air is all in the Arctic and is pushing out all the cold air from the Arctic into other areas. Over here, looks like Russia is getting quite a bit of cold air. By the way, we have a bit of a mini heat wave going on here in Los Angeles. The entire week is going to be in the upper 80s. Maybe touching the 90s at the end of the week. And of course, right, when they predict upper 80s, that add 3 to 5 degrees at least Fahrenheit. So when they say it's 85 degrees, it's more like 89 degrees. They say it's 89 degrees, it's more like 93. Right now, I'm looking at my thermometer. The thermometer says almost 90 at noon on October 31st. It's 90 degrees. But that's, the new normal for weather. I remember maybe it was last year or 2 years ago. I took my daughter to the beach in November. It was like November 10th or 11th. It was 90 degrees outside. It was 80 degrees at the beach. It was totally clear and very, very warm. And I was like, we shouldn't be having a beach day in November, but here we are we're going to go to the beach. And that was like 2 years ago. So this is the new normal. So we're having, all week long, we're having very, very warm, unseasonably warm temperatures. The nighttime lows are not that low, just dipping down to the 60s. So we're not even really cooling off. And then I think next weekend, we're finally going to go into something like a winter weather again, or whatever you want to call it, fall weather, winter weather. We'll call it fall because we're not quite in winter yet, but it's going to get down in the 60s next weekend. G. Demarest, we might get to 50 Fahrenheit. Hey. 22 Fahrenheit this AM in New England. Kevin Dayton, well, that's where you should be, right? Cindy Seeley, hasn't LA broken a record for number of consecutive days over 70? Maybe so. I didn't hear that, but it's a little wild. Like, yeah, we've been... it's a beautiful, almost spring-like day here in Southern California right now. It's very warm. Forcing Climate Info, 10 to 15 warmer in most places. We have 121 watching, 50 likes. Please like up the video. And if you're not subscribed, please make sure you're still subscribed. And where are we in the news? Moving on. Out of LA, to stay in the LA area. This is from yesterday. This was breaking news yesterday, a little after I finished my live stream yesterday. El Segundo Fire Department is responding to an emergency flaring incident at the Chevron refinery, which is releasing fireballs and puffs of black smoke across South LA every 3 minutes. Yikes. Somebody asks, isn't that exactly what the stack is for, burning excess? What's the problem here? Then, very knowledgeable answer, which I should like here. These stacks have two purposes: burns of excess waste product, which is generally steady, and unplanned burns of emergency releases. If the stack is sending up a huge fireball every few minutes, something's going very wrong. There you go. Moving on to this headline from Go Green. So sad, depressing, and insane, Arctic developers present new LNG carrier for year-round shipments on Northern Sea Route. A completely new ice-breaking hull form will enable the ships to traverse the most icy parts of the shipping route all through the year. All right, isn't technology grand? And let's look at this article. Arctic developers present new LNG carrier. A completely, let me see, I read that. These will be the first ships ever designed for NSR year-round or Northern shipping route, year-round shipping. Says General Director of Aker Arctic Rico Antti Sujinen. I don't know. This is from October 29th, by the way. The Finnish design and engineering company this week announced that it has developed a new state-of-the-art ice-breaking LNG carrier that will be able to operate along Russia's Northern Sea Route, even in the most icy parts of the year. The ships will have a completely new ice-breaking hull form, the company says. It is developed in cooperation with the Daewoo Shipbuilding and Marine Engineering and Novatech. Daewoo is Korean, South Korean. The Korean yard has already signed contracts with shipping companies Sovcom Flot, which is, I'm sure, Russian, and Mitsui OSK lines on the construction of 6 Arc 7 LNG carriers based on the new design. Yay! More fossil fuels being shipped over the Arctic all year round. That's got to be great for the Arctic and for global warming. That's going to be awesome. 3 of the 6 new vessels will be operated by Sovcom Flot. According to, or is Sovcom? It's got to be Soviet, right? According to the Russian company, the ships, or Russian, not Soviet, will each feature a propulsion system comprising 3 Azipod units with a total capacity of 51 megawatts, which is comparable to that of 50 Let Pobedi, a nuclear-powered icebreaker, and is almost 60% higher than that of Lenin, the world's first nuclear-powered icebreaker. So I'm assuming this is nuclear-powered too, as well. Is that right, in my assumption? The new propulsion system is expected to provide new vessels with increased speed and maneuverability when sailing in ice conditions compared with ice-breaking LNG carriers of the previous generation, the company informs. Anyways, they use our double-acting ship technology for ice-breaking and are the first ships ever that are designed for NSR year-round shipping, he underlines. Enter the exciting new world of Arctic sailing year-round. When you probably won't need to break ice for that much longer, right? The need for ice-breaking ships, even in the winter, might not be necessary in the near future. Yes, Poppy Davis, capitalists thinking up plenty of new ways to get rid of the ice in their way. Anyways, let's move on. Yet another headline. More than 7,000 dead seals found along Namibian beach, says conservation group. This is from October 23rd. Did we cover this? I want to say this something similar to this, but maybe it was a different location. Was it Australia? Anyways, I mean, we cover so many stories that are similar to this one. It's they all kind of get mixed up together. The number of dead seals found washed ashore on the coast of Namibia has risen to more than 7,000, nonprofit group Ocean Conservation Namibia said on Friday. OCN said last week thousands of dead seal pups had washed ashore at Pelican Point Peninsula a tourist destination known for its colony of seals and school of dolphins. Nod Dreyer, a marine biologist at OCN, said investigations in the past week had revealed a spike in the number of dead female adults. What we have been observing is less freshly dead seal pups and a lot of dead female adults, he said. He said the investigations had mainly centered on Pelican Point Beach, so the overall number of dead seals could be higher. We are trying our best to find answers given the complex nature of the investigations, where we don't even know what we are looking for. OCN said last week starvation was the most probable cause as fish, the seals' main source of food, have moved from Pelican Point, but other reasons could be toxins or disease, and nothing could be ruled out without a full study. Hey guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe, and you can support the channel at the links below, PayPal, Patreon, Square. Also, if you'd like to watch the live streams, you can watch the live streams on my Patreon channel. You can subscribe for as little as $1. So hopefully I will see you over there, and thanks so much.